Welcome
to the Sunday Stroll.
You alright everyone, Dancentral here, and welcome to a very windy episode 9 of the Sunday Stroll. Out of all the days I could have picked, I would come out on a day when the wind's really bad. So yeah, hopefully it's not too bad and you can hear me alright. So yeah, very close now, very close to the end of the season. It's just mad. So cool. Like, who'd have thought, like, I'll be doing 10 episodes when I first started this, but there we are. So episode 9 then. Question for this week is a really good one actually, I thought, because it's quite nostalgic for me, and I suppose you either used them or you didn't. People used to say if you use them you're not a true gamer, because you have to rely on them, and it's not like you genuinely doing it yourself. You've had to cheat in some way, which is just giving it away, the whole point of this episode. So it is on, indeed, cheat codes. Which ones did you use, if any? Can you remember the combinations of any of them? And if you can't, that's fine. Just let us know what they were, what they enabled you to do, and what games they were on. So yeah, cheat codes. First of all, did you use them or not? And if you did, what games did you use them on? Can you remember any of the combinations? And do you think, as a side question, that it made you any less of a gamer by using them? For me, the first one that I thought of is one of the most obvious ones, one of the most common ones. In fact, a lot of you out there may have already thought of it as soon as I said cheat codes, because when you're trying to think of combinations, a lot of you probably go, well, there's obviously the most common one, which is obviously Sonic 1 on the Sega Mega Drive. The whole, obviously, up, down, left, right, A start. So up, down, left, right, then you press A, and whilst you're holding A down, you press start, and it gives you a level select for Sonic 1. So that's one of the most obvious ones. Obviously you can do level select in Sonic 2 as well, and a few others. And also, on as a side note on Sonic, I also really enjoyed doing the debug mode, where you could turn Sonic into a ring, into TVs, into parts of the level, and you could just lay them all over the screen. You basically get coordinates in the top left hand corner, and you can basically turn Sonic into different items really, and just mess about. So I enjoyed that as well.
Hello and welcome to the Sunday Stroll, and today's topic is your cheats you remember from childhood, from games. My favourite one was back in the day when I used to play a game called Rock and Roll Racing on the Super Nintendo. I think it was on the Mega Drive as well. And off the top of my head, I don't know if this is right or not, you probably have to look it up. I think you had to hold down LR and select at the same time when you were going through the character select screen, and you could actually play as Olaf out of Lost Vikings, and you could use him as a playable character in the game. And it's really funny because in the game the commentator would always shout out the name of the character you're playing, and it would even have his name in there, so it would say Olaf is in first place, Olaf is about to die. And I just thought that was really cool that they actually did like a crossover of the games and hid him in there. That was a really good cheat.
You know, everyone, Shock16 Sunday Stroll question of the week. Favourite cheat codes and that in games. So yeah, in games I don't really tend to use cheat codes much these days. I used to use them a lot as a kid, because when you used to get mad with things and stuff like that, I'd just throw a cheat code in, you know what I mean, and enjoy your game again. But yeah, as an adult, don't really tend to use them that much. Don't know where I'm going. Once again, Sunday Stroll, lost in the wilderness. But yeah, there's a few cheat codes that I can remember from my past that I did find funny, or I did used to like using at the time. Like I say, I didn't really use them to complete games with, but used to use them like probably after I completed a game, just to go back through it and cause mayhem or something like that. But yeah, then again, there's only one cheat code that I'm probably going to use that I did use that for, so we'll start with that one. It's going back to the PlayStation 2 era, and that game would be Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And basically it's just the cheat that lets you unlock the all the weapons and the jetpack and stuff like that. Yeah, how can you not love that cheat? Like I say, I don't think I ever used it to actually complete that game. I think I persevered. There was a lot of missions on that game that I screamed at when I was playing it, but yeah, I think I did persevere with it and didn't use cheat codes. But when I completed it, went back for a second playthrough, just used to cause mayhem and havoc with the guns and the jetpack and stuff like that. Absolutely brilliant cheat code. Can't remember what the combination is to input it, but yeah, brilliant, no doubt.
The second option that I thought of is actually a little bit of a shortcut, I guess, on Donkey Kong Country. It's one of the most obvious ones for me. There is one in the minecart level, the first one, because there's 2 minecart levels in Donkey Kong Country on the SNES. The first one you get to in the game, there's a cheat on there, but the one I'm going to mention is actually one in a level that's actually still on the same map as the first minecart level. It's only a couple of levels. I think it's only a couple of levels from the minecart level on the map, and that is a stop and go station. For any of you that are familiar with the level, if actually when you enter the level, if as soon as Donkey Kong goes into the level, if you immediately turn around and go back out the level the way you came, it lets you actually exit the level from the entrance, and then what will happen is it'll go black for a bit, and when it comes back on, it'll actually put you into a secret barrel, and it'll basically blast Donkey Kong about halfway through into the level, basically cut away a load of level for you, and it will basically fly you and miss out a load of level. So it takes away the first part for you, so you haven't got to do it.
Now the second one is just quite a simple one, again on Super Nintendo, and it was on Sim City, which I think is probably the best version of Sim City, because on Super Nintendo you had like gifts which you could add to the game, that sort of thing. But you'd always run out of money. That's a bit bright. How's my hair down? You'd always run out of money in these sort of games. And I think the cheat is at the end of the year when the tax came up, if you put all the things you pay out for down to 0, and then held down the L button, I think it was, keep it held down, and then go out of the screen, go back in it and put all the taxes back up to 100, come out and then let go of the L button, you'd get like $999,000. Yeah, and that's my second cheat.
So now the second cheat code that I'm gonna say is one of my favourites, and this is going back all the way back to the 16-bit era now. And this is a game called Mortal Kombat. You probably already know what's coming, but yeah, I grew up as a SNES kid, but one thing I was always envious about was Mortal Kombat on the Mega Drive, and I've always still to this day say that Mortal Kombat on the Mega Drive is a lot better than SNES, and that is because they removed the blood on the Super Nintendo version. Of course they did it on Mega Drive as well, but the Mega Drive had the cheat code, that's right, the blood code, and I can actually still remember this off the top of my head. I believe it is ABAC, ABB, and like I say, you do that at the title screen, it makes a noise, and you've got blood on Mortal Kombat, the way it's supposed to be played, because like I said, you play it in the arcades and then you think, oh, it's coming to home console, you get the Super Nintendo version, it's all been took out, what the fuck is this? Get it on the Mega Drive, same as, but they give you a code to input to give you the blood, which is what every kid wanted when they brought Mortal Kombat at home on the home system. So yeah, the blood code for Mortal Kombat on the Mega Drive, ABACABB.
Alright guys, I've got to keep this really quick because I filmed this 3 times and I keep on running out of hard drive on my phone. So I'm not strolling, I'm sat in my car, it's 3:60 in the morning, just finished work. So cheat codes. What cheat codes do you use when you were younger? A couple spring to mind. Used to use Terminator, Robocop vs Terminator, where it would give you infinite lives, infinite weapons, a level select as well, I think it was. But the one that really sticks in my mind is never eat shredded wheat, which came from the game European Club Soccer, which basically allowed you to shoot from wherever you were and the ball would pretty much go the whole distance of the pitch and land in the goal, score, whatever, or pass it, or whatever. Thanks for watching, guys. Really sorry, really rushed. Thank you. Next week is going to be a good one.
Third option that I thought of is actually a game that is probably, in my opinion, best on the Sega Master System. But then I'd probably only say that because I grew up with that version. You can get it on the Mega Drive. You've obviously got it on Game Gear as well, even though it's a port of the Master System version. And you can get it as like a remake, if you like, on the PS2 as well. And that is James Pond 2, codename Robocod. All about a character that could stretch up really, really tall to reach high ledges and stuff like that. And there's actually 2 cheats that I know of in this game that I've done, which are really, really cool. The first one, which I've used the most, is actually a cheat where you can actually turn James Pond invincible. What you do is, when you first start the level, for those who haven't played it, when you first start the game, you actually start at the bottom of this kind of like, it's basically like a Christmassy themed game, because when you first start, you've got snow everywhere and stuff. And you go through different doors, a bit like on Castle of Illusion. You go through different doors, and when you've completed one floor, you go up to the second floor and you do a load more levels. But actually, rather than going into the first door you come to, if you actually stay where James Pond actually initially gets put when you start the game, if you actually jump up onto the first roof that you see before the first level, there's actually a row of items up there, and basically you have to collect them in a certain order, but if you do it in the right order, it turns them invincible for 10 minutes. So basically, you have, there's basically an earth, an apple, a cake, a hammer, and a tap. And basically, you have to put it in this order: cake, hammer, earth, apple, tap. Reason being, if you spell those letters out, it forms the word cheat. So that's kind of why. The other one is, when you go into the first level, if you get James to go automatically to your right and jump over the first 2 sets of spikes, there's another set of items. Now what this will do is, this will give you infinite lives. So with this one, you collect these items in this order: lipstick, ice cream, violin, earth, and snowman. And that spells out the word lives. Do it in that order and you'll now have infinite lives. I'm actually quite impressed. I managed to remember all of that. I haven't written it down at all. I thought, I'll see if I can remember that. And I have. So yeah, that's another one that gives you infinite lives.
Oh yeah, and there was a third one which I was going to mention. It was a cheat which was going around in magazines and also around school, but never actually worked, and it used to come up in lots of different variations. And it was the Nude Raider cheat, obviously the Tomb Raider game. Loads of people were saying that if you did certain things, you could get to play as Lara Croft without her clothes on. And obviously, being teenagers, we used to try this for hours, but it'd be like really long sequences. Like it would say you'd have to do 4 back flips in a row, 4 forward flips, flip left, flip right, flip left, flip right. Shoot your guns, hold down 4 buttons and press start and something like that. And yeah, it would never work. But that was a famous cheat going around called the Nude Raider cheat, but it never actually worked.
Right, so now my third and final choice, and this one is one of my favourites because it's one that just really stuck out to me, and it's not one that really helps you in the game, it doesn't hinder you in the game either, but yeah, it just always stuck out to me because of how random it was. It always used to make me laugh as a kid, and that is on a game for the Super Nintendo called ISS Deluxe. That's International Superstar Soccer Deluxe, for all of you that don't know. But yeah, ISSD on the Super Nintendo used to have a cheat, which again I can't remember the code for it, but if you input it, it changed all the linesmen and the actual football referee into dogs. It turned them into Alsatian German Shepherd dogs. So yeah, like I said, it actually had no point to the game. It was just one of those random codes that was just dead funny, because honestly there's nothing funnier than doing a dirty slide tackle on somebody and then seeing an Alsatian dog just run up to somebody and then like hold a red card up in its mouth and send them off. Absolutely amazing cheat. So yeah, it's going to be the linesman referee turn to dogs cheat on ISSD on the Super Nintendo. So yeah, there you go. They're my favourite cheat codes. What are yours? Let us know. I've been Shock16. This is Sunday Stroll. See you in a bit.
And my fourth and final option is actually going to be of a classic PS1 game. It's actually a Crash Bandicoot game, but it's actually one of the Crash games that not a lot of people even knew about. It's kind of like sort of a party game kind of Crash game, a bit like your Mario Party or Sonic Shuffle kind of game, but obviously just with Crash Bandicoot. And that's a game called Crash Bash. Fantastic game, but as I said, not too many people knew about it. There's only a hardcore Crash fans that really even owned it. Obviously, it was really more about Crash 1, 2 and 3. But Crash Bash is brilliant. It really is. It's a lot of fun, especially multiplayer. So yeah. Basically, there's a cheat on there where you can access a playable demo of Spyro Year of the Dragon, which I believe was Spyro 3. And basically, what you do is, as the title screen for Crash Bash is loading up, you basically hold L1, R1 and square, and then as they're held, you then press start. And if you do it correctly in the right order and stuff, in the right way, it will actually then stop the loading for Crash Bash and take you straight to a playable demo of Spyro Year of the Dragon. It also basically lets you play a skateboarding game as Spyro, where you can pull off tricks, do flips and stuff. You can get points and just basically see how much you can get. And I think it's something to do with lemon and lime as well. Like when you pull off certain tricks, it will say lemon, it will say lime, depending on what trick you pulled off. I think you have to kind of play it to sort of understand what I mean by that. But yeah, you can play a playable demo of Spyro Year of the Dragon by putting in that combination. If you've tried any of them before, let me know so you guys can relate to them. If you've tried one or some of them, just put a comment saying, oh yeah, I've done that, it's really good. And likewise, if you've got any that you haven't done before, likewise, if you've got any others that you've done before, that you want to add in the comment section, feel free to do so. Let us know what other ones there are, and I'll try them out, I guess. If I've got the game, I'll have a go. Or if I've already done them before, I'll reply back to you and let you know that I've done it too. So there we are. Thank you very much for watching this episode. And yeah, join us next week for the finale episode of the Sunday Stroll. Whether we do a season 2 or not, I guess remains to be seen. It's all about you guys. We do it for you. So if you've liked it, fantastic. Let us know. You know, if you want another season, again, please let us know. After the finale episode has gone up live, basically I'll collate all the episodes together in order and I'll put them as one big playlist on my channel. So if there's any episodes that you've missed, it will just make it a lot easier for you to get to them as well, rather than having to do a manual search, which can take longer. I'll put them in a nice easy playlist on the front page of the channel, so you can just go straight to the playlist and you can then just click on the episodes you need straight away. So that will have obviously episodes 1 to 10 and the pilot episode that we did right in the beginning as well to test the waters. So yeah, you'll have a long playlist that you can then go through if you so wish. The whole of this season has been all retro gaming based only. It's just been about retro gaming and that's it. However, if we do a second season, the idea will be then is it will open it up to, you know, other things as well, like films. It doesn't have to be retro either. It does not have to be retro, but we can open it up then to films and music, you know, and other things like that. Doesn't have to be gaming related solely. In fact, when I first started this season and realised it was going to be more than a couple of episodes, we did sort of initially think of doing it mixed. But then before we knew it, we got so used to doing gaming that we found we were just doing gaming, which isn't such a bad thing. But if we do a second season, we will look to open it up to other topics and other areas altogether as well. And I just want to thank everyone for showing their support and allowing me to do this, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there then, I guess, because I've rambled on long enough, I suppose. So thank you ever so much, everyone. You know, myself, Shock16, Interghost and Gashead Steve really do mean that as a group of 4. We've had such a blast doing this, and if it is only the one season that we have, then do you know what, we don't mind at all because we've enjoyed it so much. So thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you next week for the finale episode. and I hope you enjoy that one too. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you next Sunday.